Hello, my name is Camilla and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome to my first ever video tutorial. I shared a picture of these desk calendars with notebook holder on Facebook and was asked for instructions. So I thought, oh yes, I can write those out, but then I thought that's not going to work because when you're attaching the notebook holder part, it can be a bit fiddly. So I thought I'll just have to make a video, so here I am. For this project you'll need 2 sheets of A4 card and some DSP. Now I've already cut my card and DSP and put sticky tape on some of the bits. So what you do is cut your one piece of A4 in half lengthways, so you get 2 like that, so you can use those to make 2 of the bases. You need 1 piece of cardstock, 12 by 12 centimetres this is. I don't work in old money, I'm afraid. And 1 small piece, which is to go behind the calendar when you put the calendar on, just to highlight it. Obviously it doesn't work terribly well with cream. I probably should have done a different colour, but there we go, I'm doing it in cream. And for the DSP, you need 2 pieces of 10.5 high by 10 wide. They go on your actual calendar. And then 1 piece which is 9.5 high and 7.5 wide, which goes on the note holder part. And then to cover the notebook, 7.5 wide by 14 centimetres, because then it goes all the way over the back, or most of the way over the back. That's obviously using the notebook that I've got. Obviously if you've got a different size notebook you might have to adjust these measurements. So the first thing I need to do is score these 2 pieces. Right, so get your calendar base and lengthwise you want to score at, use the right end, score at 11 centimetres, 22 centimetres, 28 centimetres, and then flip it and do one at 25. And that's the bit that makes the valley fold or the mountain fold, I can never remember which way around it is, for your base. And then the 12 by 12, you just need to score it on 3 sides at 1 centimetre and 2 centimetres. And again, second side, 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres. Third side, 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres, and then while you've got it on the board, flip it over, and on the side that has no scoring at all, mark the halfway point just with a pencil. I'll explain what that's for later. So put that out of the way. I do apologise if I'm sounding a bit like Barry White, but I've had laryngitis and I generally end up sounding like Barry White afterwards for a week or so. So let's burnish these scores. And then this one obviously is burnished the opposite way. And then the note holder, burnish that on all 3 sides, both of the score lines. Oops, do that. And then we just need to do a little bit of trimming on this one. Just need to cut off these bits in the corner, just either side of where you've scored, because you don't need those. And you don't need that. chuck that over there. So while we've got these out, we'll put some tape on. These are the bits I haven't taped up yet, obviously, because I needed to score them first. So on the outer sections, I need to put tape down there. And that one. And the last one on here. Okay, and then on this one, where you need to put the tape, is this bit, the little sticky up bit there. I'll turn it over just to put the tape on. Now, before I stick this together, I'm going to put the DSP on. I'm using the Share What You Love DSP. Obviously, you can use whatever you like. Now, my one tip that I picked up from watching somebody else on YouTube is if you use this red sticky tape, this red stuff is very staticky, but if you put it in a glass jar, it's more interested in sticking to the glass jar than it is to you or your cardigan or whatever. So make sure we've got that the right way round. So that's, try not to get my big fat head in the way. Okay, so that's that side. Obviously, if you've got DSP that doesn't matter which way around you put it, it doesn't matter which way around you put it. But this has got text on, so I want to make sure that it's facing the right way when my calendar's on the desk. Also, if you're like me and you have a stamp, I have a stamp that has Gwaith Llaw Gyda Chariad, and then my name in the middle, which means handmade with love. You could put it on that bit there before you stick it all together. I'm not going to bother today. So the best way to do this is to fold it, remove all the wretched red stuff, and then just fold that over, and there you go. That's your base. So this, with the tab that you've just done, that's the back. So I'm going to put that facing me, standing up. Next comes the slightly fiddlier bit, although before I do the slightly fiddlier bit, I'll put the DSP on to the notebook holder. Okay, and centre that up, which looks the right way round. Try not to get my fat head in the camera again. Okay, and before you do anything else, the reason for putting the little mark in the middle there is to cut a little notch out of it. You don't have to do that, but it just looks a little bit nicer. So I've got my little circle punch. That's about right. And then you've got a nice little notch, which makes it look a little bit more professional. Right, now comes the slightly fiddly bit, where we stick these together. Ooh. Now you can tell I'm not used to doing videos, because most people when they're doing their videos manage to talk all the way through, but I seem to be having difficulty concentrating on what I'm doing. And of course I've got one that won't come off my hand. There we go. Okay, now it doesn't really matter which way round, if you put the bottom piece over the top of the side ones, or if you put the side ones over the top of the bottom one. It's up to you. I think I'm going to put the bottom over the sides to be honest, I can't remember what I've done before. I've made quite a lot of these. I've done quite well selling them to people in my Welsh choir because I have Welsh calendars. You think, what's different about a Welsh calendar? Well, it's got all the months in Welsh and all the days in Welsh as well. So this is the bit where I get the notebook and put in, just to give it a bit of substance when you stick the note holder to the body of the calendar. Now it can sit on the desk, so the bottom of the notebook holder lines up with the bottom of the calendar. My first one I didn't do that, and I set it about that high so that everything stuck up above the top there. There you are. You could, if you wanted to embellish this, put something else on top. You could stamp something and put notes or something like that. I've done that on a couple of my previous ones. I don't think that's, no, not that one, but I've put nodiadau for notes in Welsh. Then on the front you need to stick, oh, I haven't put tape on this one, you need to stick your bit that you're putting your calendar on. And again, you could make this, the card bit, slightly larger and then have another piece of DSP underneath, or on top, so it's underneath the calendar. Centre that up. I've got my fat head in the camera, there we go. And then you can go ahead and stick your calendar on if you want an English calendar because you're English, or a Welsh calendar if you're Welsh. I live in North Wales, so I've done, as I said, I've done quite well selling these to people in my Welsh choir. Okay, so the last piece is to decorate the notebook. Now with this I've stuck tape about 2/3. I've probably put a little bit too much tape on that. I could have done it a little bit shorter. And also don't put the tape on this too close to the edge because it's a smidge wider than the actual notebook. So you don't want tape sticking out the sides. So let's match the bottom up. Press that down and then take off this top piece. I'm feeling that's not quite straight, but it's good enough. And there we go, you've got a nice little notebook to match your desktop calendar. As I said, I'm not going to stick a calendar on this because I do sell them with an option of people having English or Welsh. So they choose the style they like and then I stick the calendars on afterwards. And there we go, my desktop calendar, the notebook holder and decorated notebook. Thank you very much.